Let me tweet this out, and then I'll retweet it.
Now I got the freaking Cantina song stuck in my head.
There we go.
That's how it should be.
I got too much of that up there. Oh, I got that. Hey, everybody in chat.
Chat, what's up?
What's up, everybody in chat? We're live. Sorry about not being live last week, but we had a great interview with Robbie and Cooley from Bungie regarding Gambit.
Oh, you.
Which
fun.
changed up my play style because I played hours the past week and no meatball whatsoever. I thought the meatball update went live with 2.0.4.
30th. No, 30th.
Apparently not.
Yep.
So
Third.
I was wasting time. Let me grab my phone real quick. Max.
Yeah, I'm going to tweet this out too that it's live. What the? Oh, come on, man.
Go do that. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
There we go. Chat popped out.
Yeah,
what's up, everybody? Time Splitter, what's up?
Yeah, Time Splitter, what's up?
Time Splitter, what's up, dude? Good old Time Splitter.
Tweet out that we are rolling here. But guys, yeah, thanks here for tuning in. As always, glad to be live again. It was kind of weird, like not recording last week.
It
live,
was bizarre,
wasn't
yeah.
It was weird.
Rancid.
It really was, right.
Because we're so used, because a lot of times chat, especially the sponsors and channel members, they add to the conversation, or some people in chat will pick something up and then we'll add it to the conversation. And hey, what's up, Destroyer? What's going on, everybody?
Ace, what's up?
Nasty Ace.
Brenson a goo. What kind of a goo is that?
Mr. Magoo?
Gamer Goo.
Gamer a goo.
Doing it, man.
You doing
Daily
it.
Deeds, what's up?
He's doing it. But all right, are we ready, boys?
We're ready.
Actually, hold up. I can see we're getting a little...
Yeah, it says stream status bad right now for some reason.
Stream status bad.
Bad stream status. Bad.
They can see us, though, right?
Fine. It looks fine on my end. It looks clear.
Yeah, just let it roll. We should be good. It'll probably settle in. But all right. So yeah, good one in store this week, guys. Hopefully everybody's been playing some Festival of the Lost. Can't wait to talk about that tonight, guys, and as well as some other things. You noticed from the thumbnail that Sean put up. There's some
Thunderlord. Yes, it is in the database.
Interesting stuff.
Scapapal, if I could read your name correctly, I would give you a shout out. That's what you get. Maybe I said that right.
Scapapal. All right, you guys ready?
Do it.
Let's do it.
Here we go. Guardian Radio, episode 272. Welcome everyone to Guardian Radio, the first and longest running Destiny podcast on the net. You are tuned into episode 272. My name is Mark Turcott, and joining me this week, as always, from inside the Dub Den, K-Dub. K-Dub, what's up, dude?
What's up, boys? Well, as you can see, I don't usually wear a hat, but I am wearing an LA hat. Dodgers are making it to the World Series, which starts tomorrow against the Red Sox. Everybody knows I'm a big sports fan. I am traditionally a Cardinals fan, but my woman's from LA. I got this hat at the D2 reveal when I went there to LA. So I am absolutely, completely rooting for the Dodgers for this World Series. So I'm wearing the hat in honor of those guys. So good luck to the Dodgers.
There you go. You hatting it tonight, kid.
I'm hatting it. I'm hatting it.
Let's see. And that other voice there, the man who rounds out our trio here, our King of Queens, Mesa Sean. Sean, what's up, man?
What's going on, everybody? Stupid me thought that the update 2.0.4 brought back more of the spawning of the Gambit meatball. So I played for hours. I mean, I ranked up. I reset my infamy, and I'm practically halfway to another reset of infamy. And not one meatball. But the beautiful part is, if you did not listen, we were not live last week. But if you did not listen, go back and listen to last week's Guardian Radio 271 with Robbie and Cooley from Bungie. Because I did bring up, I was like, would you ever consider doing a Gambit freelance playlist? Because a lot of times it's rough as a solo player like myself. And we really discussed, really how to play better as a solo player. And if you implement some of the ideas that we discussed, kind of roundtabled between the three of us and them, what I found was, for me, the Hunter by far was the best class for me. I would say, because I was tethering everything. So I kept giving my teammates supers nonstop. Every time the Primeval would spawn, tethers nonstop. And I actually, a ton of times we went against a full team and we got the W a few times, you know, and I enjoy Gambit a lot more, you know, got some really good weapons and everything. Finally got my first curated role, which was when you reset your infamy the first time, you get a curated trust. So,
nice.
You know, the one thing I will say, Swain from Crucible Radio, he was saying that he's been trying to get it. He logged off after playing a long time, and the very next game, his team got the meatball.
Oh,
and
that's the worst.
He was dying, and I was like, "Well, it's going to be spawn rated, really fast soon." But he's like, "Yeah, but if you get it now, you get the guaranteed drops on the ship and the
that's
the
right, yeah, before they change it.
So I was like, "Oh, dude, that's awful. So bad." So
One of the keys to Gambit, just real quick, is when you go in and play, if your first game you get destroyed by a team of 4, keep playing because the matchmaking does start mixing things up. When I went in for like 1 or 2 games for weekly milestones, I left there with a bad taste in my mouth. But when I went there trying to get the meatball or trying to get my bounties done, I noticed the matchmaking, it was going back and forth, win a few. I actually went on a 6-streak solo, just in terms of wins and so forth. So just keep playing it. It does mix and match. Don't let the first 1 or 2 games put a bad taste in your mouth if you go up against a stacked team.
Yep.
Nice. So. Well, what's up, everybody? Thank you here, as always, for tuning into the show, however you're tuning in. Big what's up to everybody over on YouTube, youtube.com/Mesa Sean. Glad you guys could be here. And like Sean said, last week we weren't live. We didn't record the show live, and that was because we had our big, huge, exclusive interview with the guys from Bungie. So if you have not heard that interview, definitely go back to episode 271. It was awesome just getting insight into the creation of Gambit. I mean, that was
that was the most fun. That was like a top 5 most fun episode I've had.
Yeah, no doubt.
Just so great. Those guys were awesome.
Yep. So go back and listen to that if you haven't. We definitely recommend it for sure. But quick housekeeping here before we get rolling, because we have lots to talk about this week. Don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at Guardians of D. You can email us feedback at theguardiansofdestiny.com. And of course, you can find the show live if you want to see the video over at youtube.com/Mesa Sean. And we do the show live every Monday night, so you can tune in live, usually around between 9:30 and 10. Just follow us on Twitter. We'll let you know exactly what time. Or if you subscribe to Sean's channel and put on that little notification tag, you'll definitely get notified as to when the show is going to go live. And also, if you want to help support the show, you can find down in our show notes a way to help become a patron here for the show by supporting us through Podbean. $5 gets you access to EBD Radio, our once-a-month podcast where we talk about everything but Destiny. So hit that link.
And if you want to cry laughing sometimes, that show is...
That's the way to go.
There's no holds barred.
No, we just let loose on that show. So, all right, guys. Well, let's jump in here. We have a lot to talk about, and I do want to point out because I don't know what it is. This happens like every few months. We get the emails or the messages from people saying it's no longer the news segment. But I don't say the news segment. I say the news segment. News segment. So let's move on with our.
It's like saying ESPN. It's like saying ESPN News. It's like ESPN Ooze.
It's got to be maybe just the New Yorker me. I don't know what it is when it comes out. But the news segment that we call Dispatches from the Traveler. All right, guys. Well, Festival of the Lost is here. People diving in this week, no doubt. Let's just kind of talk, I guess, just initial impressions here of this event. This is an event that was in full swing, definitely in Destiny 1. The masks are back. We have a Colonel mask that's here. The tower is decorated just incredibly like it always is. The music in the tower is awesome.
Love that.
What do you guys think? How have your experiences been with Festival of the Lost?
I want to say one thing, and I want to send it to Sean because I'm going to bust his chops a little bit. So, so I go in, and everybody wants the auto rifle, right? That's a 600. Everybody's going to get a 600 auto rifle if you get 120 fractured souls, right? So I go in, I was like, sweet, I have something to grind for. I know what I'm going to get. It's exactly what we've asked for. Carrot on the end of the stick. Do this, and we get our reward. So I go and I start going into the haunted forest, which is fun. It's a blast. And I get through the first one and the second one and the third one. And I grinded for probably 2 hours. And I have 30 fractured souls. Meanwhile, Sean, day one, has the auto rifle. You suck, sir.
Yeah, sorry, man. Well, it was for science because someone in my chat, I don't recall his name, but it was a little difficult to understand what he was trying to explain. There is a hidden chest or a chest that randomly spawns. I found a couple of them. Yep. And I think it's completely random, but there's a way that if it does spawn, you can keep because I went in there by myself, and literally, if you run the entire thing, you eventually come to another portal that then makes you rerun the whole thing over and over again. So there was a way that you can get the chest and then do something to get it to keep respawning or keep coming back to get that chest. And the chest only gives you a couple of fragments, but the goal was to see how many fragments I can get. So I was testing it all night to try to get a video, and then by the end of the night, I'm like, oh, I have 120 fragments. So I'm like,
That's awesome.
The horror story and the origin story was my favorite auto rifle from year one, and I did a big review on it, and I did a lot of comparisons to the Tiger Spite, because right now the Tiger Spite is my favorite weapon.
It's my primary.
Unfortunately, Tiger Spite, Rampage cannot drop on Tiger Spite. That's another thing I did not know. Only Kill Clip and I believe Outlaw can roll on Tiger Spite. So Horror Story is amazing because you have Rampage. You can, it's a 600 power weapon. So if you're looking for something to bump up your power, you can infuse it. That kind of stinks for people if they want something to infuse. The aim assist is terrible on it. And someone with like myself with terrible aim, I need all the aim assist I get. And even when I put on, I actually went to my collect because you could buy it again from your collections because it's a static roll. So I bought them from the collection so I can.
I saw it. And it drops a little lower. What did it drop at when you bought it?
Yeah, what was that?
I think like 580 or.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was right.
580 or something like that. So then I was testing a target adjuster, counterbalance, and actually that thing would be best I think with minor or major spec. Probably minor spec because you're wasting red bars, and when you put minor spec on, you do bonus damage to red bars. You could put it on for. And put major spec on for yellow bars, but I don't know. I find I like minor spec the most, man, because with high impact scout rifles, I have the Transfiguration, which is the raid scout rifle with Rampage on it. So I'll literally, with minor spec, one tap red bars, get Rampage to stack 3 times, then start laying into a yellow bar, and that yellow bar just insta melts, Right. But the fact that we have this whole mod system, and watch my video from this weekend on how you can farm mod components, by the way.
Yep.
It makes it a little bit more interesting, but really good rifle. I like the Festival of the Lost itself. There's not really much for me to do right now other than get that auto rifle, but I know that we will be solving the murder of Master Ives soon, and according to the database and the
don't say it.
We'll talk about it in a second. Let's get back to what's going on here with the festival, Sean. I think the haunted forest. And more specifically, having the horror story as that carrot on the end of the stick is a great thing, right? This is a great way. To me, like when you kind of step back and look at what Bungie did here, they created a somewhat simple, easy way. Yes, you do got to grind a little bit for it.
Absolutely.
But for people who are behind on the power grind, if you want to say. Not that everybody cares about it, but it's a great way for people to catch up because the minute you put on that 600 auto rifle, somebody put in the chat, they were 520 something? They immediately went to 565.
Yep.
And now suddenly their drops are going to be that much more. So it's a great way to catch people up, which makes me wonder, what does that mean for what are they prepping us for? That's kind of how I took it. It was a simple way to allow the player base to catch up. And like this guy hit, I think it was Time Splitter actually that put it. You're able to hit 565. There's a reason they want people to be that level, probably, right? Is it the murder quest? What's the power level in the murder quest?
Let's think about this for 1 second. So at the point that we are now, either you have grinded like crazy and you leveled up.
Yep.
Or you kind of maybe said, what the hell, I'm done. So if they give you this perfect little, what we've always asked for, carrot on the end of the stick, if you do this, you get that, which is what we want.
Yep.
Then you're going to get a 600 power weapon and you're going to level up. That's a perfect kind of incentive for somebody that's maybe going, you know what, I don't have time to grind to get all this other stuff to get to 600, but if I can go do this and get a 600 weapon, that's going to get me to this, and then I'm not so far away. It's a perfect incentive.
Yep.
It's awesome the way that they did
just
this.
to jump back in.
Mine absolutely will be infusion fuel. It will be.
Well, you can't. What was the deal? You can't.
Yeah, you cannot infuse.
You can't infuse with it. That you can't.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know.
But still, that means then your other drops. So you're going to start getting higher drops. So Time Splitter put in the chat. He didn't immediately go to 565, but at least it's a path to help you. Someone get there, and it could be a way just to say, hey, come back in. Suddenly now your drops are going to be 30 power levels higher than what they previously were. Someone may say, you know what, now the path to raiding or the path to maybe next Iron Banner where I'm going to be a little bit higher, I can see it a little bit more now. I'm going to come back in and I'm going to start playing. I think it's a great idea. I think every event they should do something like this, especially something like this that is somewhat easily attainable, I think is the right way to say it. And as long as, think of these events, we only have 3 or 4 throughout the year. If you have something like this only a few times throughout the year, it's not like they're easily giving you, hey, here's 600 power level items. It's like, no, here's a primary. Next event, whatever that is in February or whenever they do, or the Dawning, it'll probably be, right? Dawning, here's a energy slot weapon, and then here's a power one in the spring, and then by that point, we're all looking towards the next expansion, and we're just moving on. Like that, I think is a great way to do it.
You did get a fighting lion with the catalyst, too. Also.
You did, too, exactly.
Well, yeah. Even if you have to use Horror Story, we're not saying it's not a great weapon.
No, it's awesome.
We're just saying it's not quite as good as Tiger Spite. It's still a badass weapon. So use it and be leveled up and get better drops and great, and you're gonna have fun using it. We're not saying it's not good. It's awesome. Yep. It's just we if you had a choice between a 600 Horror Story and a 600 Tiger Spite, you'd probably take, depending on the role, you'd probably take the Tiger Spite.
Yeah. Right. The fact that they took something that we typically picked on for a while, which is the Infinite Forest, and made it something that a playable activity that was pretty fun, became challenging as you progressed in terms of modifiers, blackout, glass, grounded, as you got further. The furthest I got, and I did it all night with solos, was 7 branches, right? But I also like the fact that you could take a mask and then choose 3 different upgrade
perks.
paths.
Yep.
And then from there, all right, you got to kill 10 nightmares to get to this upgrade. Then you upgrade it for more, and I think the final upgrade. I had the Master Owl mask. No, I was using a chicken mask I bought from Eververse.
The Colonel,
I was using that, and I upgraded it fully, so I took less damage because one of them was grounded, so less damage while airborne. More power ammo drops, and I think bonus damage to nightmares or something like that, But really unique way of taking here's a space that is different, and it looked completely different with it all being creepy and dark and
making it dark,
eerie and stuff. And then the troll at the end was the greatest. I mean, live on stream when I fell into the pit and stupidly could not see that there's a way out to get up to where the chest.
Can I say how many people did we see on Twitter going, what the F? Like, what? I can't. And it just goes to your postmaster, man.
It goes to your, I didn't realize that the first time that there's a door, but then lovely chat said,
yes. There was so many people going bananas, even some good friends of ours, like, what the F, man? What the? Yo, went to your postmaster. It's okay. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, the space, like you said, Sean, I really like the space. The fact that they basically changed the lighting in there. And literally, that's all it took, right? Was to have suddenly now the enemies are hard to see. They can hide around corners from you. A lot of times you just kind of see the glowing eyes and things like that. It's very cool. But then also throwing in the Amanda bounties. I think I tweeted that out today. The fact they give you a weekly bounty with Amanda. That gives you 40 souls guaranteed if you complete 15 daily bounties. And those daily bounties make you play differently. What makes you play differently in the Haunted Forest. So, like, the one today that I was running was, get 50 auto rifle kills, which I was probably going to do anyways with my Tiger Spite. But then the other one was 50 or 25 grenade launcher
grenades.
Kills. I never use a grenade launcher. What did I do today? Using a grenade launcher, and it was fun. Taking me out of my comfort zone and forcing me to play one way, it was fun. So I think kind of layering that on top of it and then putting the carrot of, hey, if you do 15 of these this week, you're going to get 40 souls. You can see the Horror Story at the end of the tunnel. It's a great event, I think, for them to do it that way.
So the next question I had in here is, how far did you guys get as far as wave clears on Haunted Forest? Personally,
7 for me.
I got the 7 just for the emblem, right? So and that was a bitch, by the way. I was getting 6. All right, I was like, we got to figure out a way. We got to get faster kills, get more bosses, and I got the 7. I saw that Dylan tweeted that he was following. I forget who it was he was following. He was watching somebody. Got to 13. I'm like, really?
Those Glad guys, I think, got
crazy.
To 15.
Yeah, I would say it was 15 or 16, I think, is what I saw somebody did.
Wow.
It's insane.
Like, we were busting balls to get to 7.
Yep.
Like, wow. Like, if you're in a chat, tell us how far you've gotten. But, man, like, getting past even 7 is rough. 13, 15, that's ridiculous. Like, I got to see that video. How did you do
Is your
that?
mask locked once you go in? Could you just change back to your 600 helmet?
Well,
I was thinking that today, Sean. I don't know.
You could probably get to farther waves with not wearing a mask. I was always wearing a mask.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the trick. Just don't wear your max gear and go in and waste face. Maybe that's the trick to get more waves. But that's kind of defeating the purpose, right?
Yeah.
The thing was to do it with a mask on.
Yeah. Time Splitter said Glad got to 16, and that's what I thought I'd seen that.
Easy.
Crazy, man.
Crazy.
So I almost hope this event to some extent. I mean, I know because it is a seasonal event, it is going to go away. But I think it's something that would be cool to kind of stick around, or even come back maybe every month or something like that. And not necessarily to chase the horror story, but just it gives us that like Prison of Elders type activity to kind of chase. I don't know. I just thought it was really cool. I think it's a really neat event. It is that horde mode that we kind of wanted. And I remember we used to talk about this, like the Infinite Forest, they need to do something. This would be great for some sort of horde mode space. We have it now. That's exactly what they did. They did it. They just turned the lights off. It said go. And it's cool. I think it's great the way they did it. Yeah, for sure. All right, real quick here before we move on, let's thank our first sponsor, and that is Gamer Goo. You gooing it. You guys know we love the guys over at Gamer Goo. And if you're not familiar with what Gamer Goo is, it is an antiperspirant you put on your hands to help you from having those sweaty hands when you're in those sweaty Gambit matches, sweaty PvE encounters, whatever it is. When you're playing a game and your hands are sweating, Gamer Goo can help you out. You got to go to gamergoo.com. You can use our promo code Guardian, get yourself 10% off an order over there. They also have some free samples, and we're also tipped off from Justin from Gamer Goo. You can actually get it now on Amazon. So if you are an Amazon Prime member, you can get free shipping on Gamer Goo there. So search out Gamer Goo on Amazon. You can find it over there. Get yourself some free shipping. So again, go to gamergoo.com. Use the promo code Guardian. Get yourself 10% off. They have all different scents. They have cinnamon, orange, and peppermint, and they're all great. We've been using it. I said last week, there's nothing on the show that we push that we don't actually use. So we are actually using Gamer Goo ourselves. So
I've put it on my feet before. Go there.
We've had some people. There's been people tweeting at us saying that they got their Gamer Goo as well. So definitely check out Gamer Goo, gamergoo.com, and use our code Guardian. Get yourself 10% off. You going it. All right, guys. Let's talk about the big kind of. This isn't official. I'm going to put this out there.
Deej's favorite weapon? Is that what you're about to talk about?
I'm just going to put this out there because this has not been confirmed by Bungie.
Right.
However, we do know there is a quest that will be coming up here very soon, October 30th, I believe, next week, into the Festival of the Lost. There was a murder. Somebody's dead. Master Ives. And supposedly, when we solve this murder, we will be receiving the one, the only, the thing that Sean chased for seemingly weeks. The Thunderlord is coming back, which not only means the Thunderlord, but machine guns, which we did see the machine guns in the Forsaken trailer, so we knew that was coming. But what do you guys think, man? Is this?
Well, I looked it up. So machine guns are in the details on DestinyToTheGame.com for Black Armory. Heavy machine guns are coming back. I had the database UI icons that came with Festival of the Lost, and I'm looking at it right now. And there is 2 ornaments for Thunderlord. Okay,
right.
So Thunderlord is in this particular update with all of the Festival of the Lost.
After you get the Thunderlord, those will be available as an Eververse.
More than likely, yeah.
Right. Yeah, you would assume.
Yeah. So it looks like this in prepping for Black Armory, which we are predicting December, or I think Bungie probably even said it was going to be December. Our first heavy machine gun will be Thunderlord, which will be really interesting because, man, that's a thing I miss tremendously.
Will we ever need another one, Sean? Like, why are they going to give us this
if
one?
You don't want to use an exotic? Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
listen, straight up, man, I'm sick of the sleeper, man, because right now that's what I use. I mean, I got bored with Sins of the Past. I'm tired of sleeper right now. I'd rather have Thunderlord and just waste ads like crazy, whether it's in Gambit, whether it's in PvP. Well, yeah, PvP. I had a good time with what was the Iron Man one? Is the Silver Red Dread, I think it was called, or the Zombie Apocalypse. But the fact that we're getting our first light. Oh, and that's another thing everyone argues: is it light machine gun or heavy machine gun?
HMG.
I call them. I'm used to calling them LMGs from Call of Duty, but yeah. I think it's really cool that they're bringing it back and kind of prepping us to start using that type of weapon type for the Black Armory DLC that will be coming up soon.
Gambit, man, that'll be just sick.
Gambit could
in Gambit.
Wasting ads like like if the actual perks on the armor that says more heavy ammo work, which I don't know if they really work right now. If it works, heavy ammo fighter, and I pick up a heavy brick and I see, especially some, the ads are tanky in Gambit.
They are. They really are.
But if I could mow a bunch of them down with Thunderlord, man, that'd be so awesome.
Here's the envoys. But here's my favorite thing about this quest is where you're actually going to theoretically, from what we know, where you're actually going to
spoiler alert.
This.
Yeah, spoiler alert too, by the way.
Alert,
if you don't want to know this, fast forward maybe about 3 or 4 minutes.
But because this is so cool, it's so nostalgic. Where you're actually going to get this weapon is back at the Rixus location. Remember the very first trailer that Bungie showed back in D1, the first real game action you saw, and if you remember that, somebody goes blink and they got Thunderlord when they were in that area with Rixus, and it was the first exotic we've ever seen in D1 ever. And that's the same location that we're going to be going to in the Cosmodrome.
I was going to say, you didn't even say it, man. The Cosmodrome. We're going back to the Cosmodrome.
Back to the Cosmodrome, in the area with the cars and where it's Eyes Up Guardian, that whole area.
Yep.
We're going to be going back to that area to finish this quest to get the Thunderlord. Mm-hmm. That nostalgia is ridiculous. It's awesome.
Yep. And a lot of this was being pulled, too. I want to throw this out there. There was a Reddit post that was put up. The person's name who has been posting all of this on Reddit has been correct about many things in the past. His name is what?
Anon the Nine.
Yeah. And so he's been correct about other things in the past. That's why everybody's kind of jumping on this and why you suddenly saw all these videos being posted today about not necessarily just the Thunderlord, but about the quest itself. There's a lot of dialogue that's been data mined or just kind of little lore bits in that that are referring to this. So it seems like we're going back to the Cosmodrome. And we're going to be getting the Thunderlord there. I mean, that is just so cool. And especially if it's that specific location, it's such a nod to those D1 Destiny players.
Yeah.
That to me, I think is the coolest thing of them going back to that, which is great.
Folks, if you don't know what I'm talking about, do this before this quest happens. YouTube search Destiny reveal. I think it was E3 2013.
5 years ago.
Sean, I was there in the audience. I was in the audience 2013 E3. If you go and look at the old Guardian Radio YouTube channel, youtube.com/Guardian Radio, the very first video that's posted there was me and Derek, one of the former original hosts of Guardian Radio, interviewing Deej, like kind of behind the Activision wall in their own little cafeteria.
Like a cafeteria.
Well, but it was because Activision has like a mega booth and they had like these little eating areas and we had an appointment with Activision, but I'm like, I gotta find Deej. Where's Deej? Right. Because Deej was actually the one that got us into the E3 press conference and or into the Activision press conference, and it was PlayStation actually. They showed it off. And they went and got him, and he's like, man, let's just sit down here. So everybody's like, you disrupted him while you were having lunch. It's like, no, we like purposely sat down at this table.
Right.
But go check it out, Guardian, youtube.com.
Because it's such an interesting video because it was their initial trailer was showing off, they show off the Fallen Walker. And of course, in all these trailers, they hip fire everything because they don't want to show you the aiming down sight so much.
Exactly.
The weapon, and like the guy picks it, was like, "Whoa, what's this, Thunderlord?" And then he pulls up the UI to show you the perks, and it looks nothing like how we know the way the perk setup is.
Even the levels. Remember, the level looks like a little chat bubble and all that.
They were like level 5. Remember that?
It was such bare bones. So look it up. 2013 Destiny 2. No, I'm sorry, Destiny. E3
just
trail.
Destiny. It was right.
Destiny trail. It was really cool. So more than likely, this is going to be an ode to that, where we go back to that same room where they killed this fallen dude, like you said, Mark, and you guys were there to see that for the first time. So
Rixus location.
Rixus.
Yeah, awesome. Yep.
Oh
so
man,
cool. So freaking cool, dude.
I mean, hell, that's been over 5 years now that
five
they
years,
showed that.
5 years,
so, and because that area, even though that initial location where like Eyes Up Guardian that was there, that encounter with Rixus doesn't even happen in the original game anymore. Sure, we see Rixus at some point, but the encounter they go through in that gameplay preview is not actually in the game.
Remember too how amazed we were with just even the crows, and when we moved to a certain area, the different AI would just react with our movement. We were like, man, this is ridiculous. That was 5 years ago, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, you know what? It'll be interesting to see it done in Destiny 2 graphics.
Right.
If you look at Destiny 2,
You're
when
right,
we
Sean.
do the Warden of Nothing strike and we see the Prison of Elder room that we're in, it looks a bit different than it did in Destiny 1, where in terms of graphically, when you drop down to the treasure room and everything is ramped up to 11.
Well, and a lot of that was because they had to compensate for the 360 and the PS3, right? And
Good
so
point.
now everything is just
Yeah.
they can definitely up-res everything, which is great.
Next generation.
But yeah, so that should be October 30th. That's kind of the word on the street, is that is the way we're going to get the Thunderlord, and just the fact that the Thunderlord is coming, which I think is cool that they're going to kind of bring that with, with this quest. Now here's the question: we're seeing heavy machine guns with Black Armory. Do you think if you don't buy Black Armory, are you locked out from getting heavy machine guns except for this specific one?
Probably.
Good question.
Probably.
I don't know. Yeah.
So you will be blocked off from a whole class of heavy weapons, basically.
They probably will get a little message. It'll locked out and say must own DLC in order to.
Because a lot of what we know and the way they've kind of pitched this content is they're kind of ditching the story content. We know we're going to get some strikes.
You're going to have to own the what is it called? Not the
annual pass.
The annual pass.
Annual
Well, I'm saying the annual pass. They keep
Armory,
saying the annual pass is basically going to give you more loot, or the potential to get more loot. So it could just be, hey, if you own it, you can get a heavy machine gun, but if you don't, you're kind of crap out of luck.
Because right now they just gave Curse of Osiris and Warmind free to anyone that owned Forsaken up to the 16th of October, right?
Well, it's basically now, like before you had to pay, like you could pay 40 and just get Forsaken, but you had to also own the previous 2 DLCs. And so and so basically, and then they sold that bundle for 60. Now, if you just spend $40, you just immediately get those expansions. So a buddy of mine bought Destiny 2 for $10 off Amazon. And I'm like, man, you're going to get Forsaken? He's like, no, man, I still got to get the, last year's, pass basically to get the 2 DLCs. He's like, I don't want to spend $60. But now he could go just spend 40 and immediately get Warmind and Curse of Osiris and then get Forsaken as well. Where those of us who owned it already, we're going to get those 2 emotes, the exotic emotes, the
Veterans bundle.
Yeah, all that stuff. So,
right.
But,
yep.
Let's see. What else? Let's see.
I got to say something silly, and I put this in here.
It's silly, Caleb.
Silly. They put these Jack-o'-lite stencils on Bungie.net. So everybody, hey, we're in a holiday spirit for Halloween. And I saw somebody, and it wasn't one of the stencils that they did. They put like 10 or 12 different stencils, like the Bungie tricorn, the Titan emblem, the Gambit emblem, all these different, so cool. Like you put the stencil over your pumpkin, and you can carve them out, and they look just ridiculous. But somebody without a stencil did a Riven.
I saw that with the
man,
ears.
it's incredible, dude.
Oh my God.
They basically peeled back the first layer and kind of opened it up to make the eyes, and then oh god, Bungie tweeted, they retweeted it today, man. It's incredible.
That was amazing. I mean, I've seen some really cool things when I'm watching TV in the mornings and around Halloween. These shows will have different ones that are like professionally done. This thing was ridiculous, but without being ridiculous and having that kind of skill, you can go on BNet and right there, it's free. They have the stencils. Put it on your your Halloween your pumpkin and carve it out. There's a lot of them are really simple. I mean, you could do the Titan one is really easy. The tricorn is really easy, but there are some really, really cool stencils that you can if you want to go do some pumpkin carving. Because I get a lot of kids. We're into it. I'm probably gonna at least make a Titan one, if not others. So really, really cool that they did that.
Didn't they do the masks again? Was that last week they were in the update?
Dude, they had somebody, I forget who it was, did a video of making the chicken mask.
Yeah, yep.
Dude, so in fast motion, like sped up. It took 4 minutes. I'm like, wait a minute. That's gonna take like an hour.
I would say it'd take me 4 hours, and it still wouldn't even look anything close to it. It'd be all messed up.
I'm out. Right. So good luck if you're gonna do that.
And again, it just plays into what we're doing in game. It's so cool, man, that they keep doing these.
It's so cool.
Let's see. Iron Banner was out this week. I didn't jump in at all. Did you guys jump in Iron Banner at all to kind of test the new, I guess, what bounties they kind of had out there where you could get the powerful gear from them, or challenges, whatever you want to call them?
I played 2 games to get origin story footage because Clash just kept coming up in TDM, and I don't know, man. Do I dare say Iron Banner just doesn't feel the same like it did at the end of Destiny 1. Like the feeling when Lady Efrity came to the tower was like, man, first off, if I get to rank 5, she's going to have armor, weapons. She's going to have perfectly rolled stats for armor, and she's going to have 2 god roll weapons that I have to buy. So I think that's not really there. I mean, the pulse rifle he's selling is amazing. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of other pulse rifles that I think are just as good. And I kind of feel like, I don't know, there's not the incentive there. Because right now I'm 600 on my Warlock, 599 on my others. So the power grind the power leveling is not, the incentive is not there for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'll tell you, I'm sorry, like, I'll say it again. The whole power play thing makes Iron Banner really annoying. For me, at least, whether I'm on the team getting the power play where it locks the flags down for 20 seconds. And yes, I know one can say you could come back from that or whatever. Good luck to that one. I've seen a few games where we have or other teams have come back from it, but the power play thing is just exhausting. Yeah. It's all everyone's going for, and I don't know. For me, it just doesn't feel like, I don't know.
Well, I think
here's my I love Iron Banner. Like, of the people here on this show, I probably love Iron Banner the most.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And I love Iron Banner when power matters, which is why I grinded for the first Iron Banner, made sure I was at least powered up enough to be competitive. This Iron Banner, I think the problem was they just timed it wrong.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
There's
terrible, man.
Too much stuff going on. What do I need to go do my Ascendant challenges? Do I need to go do Festival of Loss, and I need to go do some other? There's just too much going on. You should have just held it back for right after as soon as the reset of Festival of Loss is over.
That's
drop Iron Banner.
Yeah, just hold off.
That's how they should have handled that, because I don't have enough time to do all of the things. And not only that, in the TWAB, they mentioned it. What are you going to do? You're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. They mentioned 4 different things that you should be doing. Not only that, it's a week 3 in the Dreaming City. So it's the most...
Yep.
The best
Everybody
time to be
chasing their wish enders, all that.
So it was just bad timing for when to have Iron Banner come out. I think this will be the least played Iron Banner. If I was to guess,
yeah,
it might be.
But I think it was just a bad timing situation. That it wasn't a good event.
Just one last thing too is I put in my video from this morning because I did a top list of top changes I would like to see within Destiny 2. And a big problem, I think, is we don't have enough perks and we don't have enough loot. And I know we have a lot more loot now compared to what we had before, but I feel like we're all chasing the same two handfuls of guns and the same perks, right? Rampage, Outlaw, Explosive Payload, Kill Clip, stuff like that. The beauty of Iron Banner, for me at least, especially making videos and all the package openings and this and that was fun, but I love saving up the packages and seeing, oh my God, I got a Clever Dragon with XYZ. Then I got a Lingering Song with Luck in the Chamber. I just feel like there's not enough perks in the game that we're chasing after, Now, granted, the barrels and things make a huge difference. Like, I got a Retold Tale, that's my PvP shotgun. The range is like 91 on the thing. The perks are terrible on it, but I don't care because the range on the barrels and mag make it amazing. But I kind of feel like there's just not enough perks, and I'd be hard pressed as a designer because I'm not a developer as to come up with cool perks.
Yeah.
So I think perks like Luck in the Chamber need to come back, or they said Reactive Reload might be on Thunderlord, so Reactive Reload is in the database. Or Crowd Control is just another version of Rampage, but Crowd Control was a really cool perk. Having more nodes on your weapon, which I showed. It was weird because I logged into D1 like to get footage, and I was recording my beloved Wounded from Future War Cult with full auto, Firefly, Outlaw, and things like that. And just, I would like, and I doubt they can do that because a lot of the perks are rolled into the frames of the weapons, but it would be cool to go back to the old system with 3 different sites, a main perk that can be anything, 3 side a row of 3 perks that can be anything, and then a last main perk. Then the combinations are just endless in terms of what you can get rolled for that,
Yeah. I mean, you almost wonder, there's got to be a reason why some of those old perks have not made their way into Destiny 2. It's got to be something with balance, right? Because, here we were saying how hard it is to come up with these old or come up with new perks, but they have a stash of them back in with Destiny 1. So there's got to be a reason for it for some reason.
Right now, every single gun, you're looking for Outlaw and
Kill
and
clip.
what? And kill clip.
Rampage.
And rampage.
Some
How long
rangefinder,
rampage?
depending.
Explosive payload.
Depending on the gun, right?
Yep.
It's just there's 3 or 4 perks that you're looking for on everything that make it a god roll. I think we need to. I would like to see other perks that will compete with those other perks that we're getting that will then make it either competitive or better depending on what the thing that you're doing is, right?
I checked in with the Crucible Quartermaster, and he was selling a palindrome with rangefinder. I forgot what the other perk, but it had spray and play, and I forgot about that perk. I love that. Whereas it fast reload when
on
you
HMGs. On HMGs, it was good, right?
Yeah. And I was saying to myself, man, not only that was there more perks, but another thing big too that I touched on in this morning's video was that there were so many more loot pools. Yeah. Every vendor had 10 weapons. The vendors we have now, Saladin, Crucible, Gambit, Zavala, Crucible, Gambit, Saladin, they have 6 weapons. We had the factions also 10 weapons apiece. Mm-hmm. That's 3 extra. That's why my suggestion in this morning's video was I'd like to see the factions, let them be there all year round. Let them sell weapons just like they did in Destiny 1. Let them all have random rolls and make faction rallies something where each faction, maybe once a month or something, has a pinnacle. Like you have to grind.
Yeah, right.
You want this thing, but on a daily basis, it's a special. Or what if they did it where each faction had 1 exotic you could choose from out of the 3 factions? You're grinding every week, but I'm just saying that those extra vendors made a difference. Zavala and Shaxx, they're not selling anything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that was the thing I really look forward to every Tuesday morning was doing the reset video, was checking out what the Crucible Quartermaster was selling, what each faction was selling. Oh my God, he's got the Warpath.
Look at the roll on that. Right, absolutely. Yeah. I 100% agree, and I was always a Dead Orbit guy only because I like to wear black. Mm-hmm. But absolutely, when you go to see, okay, what weapon do they have this week that I need to go do bounties for and grind on that and go to that faction, and maybe I switch my faction to go get those weapons or whatever it is. The factions are almost meaningless now. They really are. Like I don't even think about factions anymore.
They're not in the game right now. So
well, I'm just saying.
Hopefully,
it's unfortunate because it's something that was so significant in D1 that it's just gone, and it was something that I used to love to do, and it gave you it was that carrot on the end of the stick. If I do this, I know I get that. Yep. And that's the thing, just like they did with this 600 weapon that we're getting from Festival of the Lost. It was something you could do on a weekly basis, and that was awesome.
And my favorite thing that was in Destiny 1 that I literally made a video up until the week before Destiny 2 came out was "'Tis Arms Day." Man, I loved Banshee. Right. Every single week we were looking for that. Either that one fusion rifle, I think it was the Irene or something. Right. There was that one sniper everyone wanted. The PDX-45, the DIS-43, the DIS. One quick fix right now would be a complete game changer, but it would go against the principles of playing the new DLC. If they made right now every destination vendor, boom, random rolls, every one of them, tone control, all the weapons now can drop with random rolls. You know what? You do the Flashpoint or you do adventures for that week or whatever, you have a chance at those random rolls. That right there,
that would be great.
Really spice in the game. But that would defeat the purpose of it's a DLC. Where do they want us? They want us in the Tangled Shore. They want us in the Dreaming City. They want us into the new strikes and stuff. They don't want us on the old destinations because we've kind of been there, done that. It doesn't really fit within the storylines. But that's an insta-fix, right, I think, if you could get different weapons. There was some pulse rifles that, was it Sloan or was it – it's not Ashimir. It was either Sloan. Failsafe's got some pretty good weapons, too, that if she had random rolls, that would be pretty cool.
Yep. Let's see. Let's talk about this new competition that's going to be going on here. And this was posted up. Rockstar Energy, who does not sponsor the show, by the way, is doing an in-game competition that is live all the way through November 7th. They basically have weekly challenges in Crucible, Gambit, and in Strikes. And the top 4 players will get to go to Bungie to compete for a grand prize. And if you haven't seen this grand prize, and get yourself ready because this thing is ridiculous. Crap. And it is this just insane slingshot roadster that is inspired by Destiny 2 Forsaken.
Real deal freaking roadster.
Is that street legal, man?
Hell yeah, dude. I see them all. I'm in Naples. I see them all.
We got a bunch around here too.
It's like in New York City, you get pulled over for that.
No. It's totally street legal. Two wheels in the front, one in the back. I see them all the time here here in Naples because there's people with more money than God here in Naples, but that thing is ridiculous. So I mean, I don't even know what you got to do, but oh my God, look at that thing. That is sick. It looks like a freaking Batmobile.
You can find all the information.
A Scorn Batmobile.
Yeah, find all the information in the TWAB. They have a link over to the competitions they're doing. You can also win some other things. There's like some PlayStation inspired.
Oh, there's all kinds of
controllers, hoodies, hats,
right?
Gambit headphones, all kinds of stuff you can find. So we just thought that was pretty cool. So definitely check that out. Wow. Let's see real quick here before we move on. Let's thank our next sponsor here on the podcast, and that's, of course, our friends over at On Air PC. If you are looking to get yourself streaming live playing PC games on the internet, On Air PC is the best way for you to do that. All you need to do is give them a call at 330-850-1525. Call the guys over there. They will get on the phone with you. They will ask you what games you want to play, what service you want to use for streaming, and they will build the PC specifically to what you want to do. So unlike other websites where you go to and you're just kind of picking the most expensive computer over there saying, oh, this thing has to be good, just the most expensive doesn't always mean that it is the best. So Ryan and the guys over there, they will help you at On Air PC. Give them a call, 330-850-1525. They'll get you on the phone. Once they get it all set up, they will play on the system for 24 hours. They will then ship it out to you once you receive it. They will get on the phone with you, help you set up your OBS or whatever you're going to use to stream it to the service, and make sure all the settings are right and get you going. Now, if you order from them as well, you will also get a copy of Destiny 2 along with Forsaken and basically be ready to roll and get yourself streaming live on the internet. So again, On Air PC, 330-850-1525, and very, very soon we will be announcing something in coordination with them.
Ridiculous something. By the way, I just want to add real quick, our buddy Fallout that was on when Shani was gone, his computer crashed, and those guys helped him. He's shipping the computer to them. They're fixing it, sending it back, testing it, the whole thing. Awesome. They took care of our buddy Fallout really, really well. So they're not trying to sell you. They're trying to help you.
Yep. So again, On Air PC, 330-850-1525. You can find that number down in the show notes or on screen if you're watching on YouTube. Let's talk about a little bit more speculation. And this, again, is coming from the same Reddit post, or very similar Reddit post, at least from the same Redditor, the Anon the Nine.
Anon the Nine.
And Anon the Nine. Anyway, he posted about, and I don't want to go too much into this.
This is all speculation.
Totally speculation, but just briefly here, we'll talk about it. So there is supposedly some rumblings about Destiny 3 that are going around. We will acknowledge that. Yes, we know. I mean, I've even saw some people in the chat posting about it. There is a rumor going that we will be going to Europa. When you go back to the early days of the Destiny reveal, Europa is in the concept art. Back then, you could probably find Guardian Radio episode 3, where we were probably, or whatever the hell it is, we were talking about Europa because we had this concept piece. Supposedly, in this area around, is it Jupiter, right? Is that kind of where this Jupiter, is? Yep. There's a race called the Jovians, which Xur himself is a part of. The Nine are there. And so there's been some...
So real quick, Xur is a Jovian. It's a species.
Okay. Yeah. So he is, it's worm face, snake face.
Right.
That's the Jovians.
Tentacle
face.
Whatever.
And so it appears that Europa may be the next space that we may be going. A lot of people are thinking this is Destiny 3. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be Destiny 3 or just the next expansion. I would think if we were hearing about Destiny 3, I would think we're getting more locations rather than a whole, here's Destiny 3, we're fighting in Europa. No, we need to be fighting in more places. To me, Europa would sound like hey, here's the expansion for next year. We're fighting in Europa in the expansion. That would make more sense to me. But there's also some things flying around about Guardians possibly using darkness and fighting.
Well, the funny thing is, so we've seen the images of those giant like triangle ships coming in and stuff that we may be fighting in Europa and the Nine and all these different things. And then there's been speculation, and we've talked about this for probably, I don't know, a year, about dark Guardians, right? Mm-hmm. Like light side, dark side, since we've used the light and we're fighting the darkness. Is there not a guardian that gets corrupted by the way? And then you have dark guardians. Like, it's a whole thing that if you think about it, Spinfoil, yes, But if you think about it, it's totally realistic to think as the Destiny universe progresses, Dark Guardians that get corrupted or something, not going like Taken that type of deal, but if these ships or this enemy that's coming in somehow has the ability to make Guardians go to the dark side, if you will, and then you make a choice of, do you want to do that or not or whatever. The spinfoil stuff is ridiculous, and there's also been speculation about if that happens, and then in open world situations you might come across almost like in the Division, right? When you're getting what's it called when
rogue
when they go rogue, right? And you have to fight other Guardian or other whatever they're called in that game. But if you have Dark Guardians and Light Guardians in the same open world area, can you fight?
Yeah,
like in not PvP, but it's a PvE situation. Like there's
Battle
so
Royale,
many,
Destiny
it's so
style.
many things that could happen. It's like, wow.
Well,
Holy
next
crap.
expansion, we're definitely going to the Dreadnought.
Oh, we gotta be right.
Europa,
Yeah.
Well, because when we look at the ending cutscene for Destiny 1, Luke Smith already confirmed that, where you see the Traveler's Light going out, predicts, right? So after the Reef, the next thing is the Dreadnought. So we 100% think that the Dreadnought will be the next, more than likely a year from now, we'll get the next expansion, right? Because we have an annual pass. So Kotaku reported they started preliminary work or pre-production on D3 at the beginning of this year, right? Whether that's true or not, who knows? Kotaku gets it right sometimes they don't. So more than likely, this next DLC will be on the Dreadnought. Will it have two destinations, the Dreadnought and Europa? Because Europa is the moon of Jupiter. The Dreadnought's still circling Saturn. If you look up on Titan, you can still see it up there. So it's going to be interesting to see, is Europa going to be in Destiny 3? Because Europa, we've been seeing that rumor passed around since Destiny 1. You know what I mean? Of like, when it's coming, when is it coming? When are we going to Europa and this and that? Bife and I, back in the day, were speculating. We thought Rise of Iron was going to take place on Europa because of snow and this and that. Well, it was snow, but it was in the Plague Lands, not Europa and this and that. So it will be interesting to see whether it's D3 or it's going to be, because now, listen, Forsaken was the first paid DLC, I think it was, with two destinations, Tangled Shore, Dreaming City. You know what I mean? So are they going to follow suit next year, have a DLC, two destinations, and then another annual pass? You know what I mean? So it could be two different places. Dreadnought will be a smaller destination, or maybe where the raid will go down or something again, or Europa will be the big destination. I don't know.
Or the Dreadnought is just the expansion, and then Destiny 3 is Europa. Beyond that.
That's it. So the speculation from Anon the 9 was the Destiny 3 bit, not the expansion stuff coming now. So
what do we think?
I agree. Yeah.
Do you guys think? I mean, are we getting what's next fall? Are we getting Destiny 3, or are we getting just another expansion?
I think another paid expansion.
Okay. Because if it's beginning of this year, they just started on 3, then hell yeah, it's definitely a paid expansion. But you just kind of wonder if they're going to go back to that old, kind of get back on track with that contract where it was like, hey, 1 year's an expansion, 1 year's a big release. 1 year's expansion is kind of go that way. I mean, I honestly hope we don't get a Destiny 3. I hope we just keep layering on this world. Let's do the World of Warcraft thing. Like, let's not have to go through this again. Just build on top of this system. I mean, there's so many games that just, hey, here's a new expansion, but we're also going to make you basically re-download the game because it's now running on a new engine. It's running on all that, and just give us all of that. We don't need to now suddenly start over again with Destiny 3. Like, I think to me that's just, let's create this living, breathing world and not have to basically hit the reset button again. Whether or not they would actually truly hit the reset like we did this time, I don't know. But I don't know. I just hope they just keep building on top of everything and layer it on. I think would be great.
I do want to throw one question out there that we got from chat. It says, what are the opinions on possibility of cross-platform play? I don't think we're going to get cross-platform play. I think we may get cross-save eventually with the stuff that's going on, and I would love that. Cross-save is really the best of both worlds, because cross-platform, believe me, if you're on console, you don't want cross-platform. Not if you're going to play PvP anyway.
I'm not playing PC players. F that.
Exactly. You're going to get smoked. People don't understand. The people that aren't real like high-level players that maybe know how PC works, you will get smoked by PC players that are high-level PC players. But cross-platform, a save, I would love, because that would allow you to, if you want to play on PC, level a character up, or even you have your characters leveled up on console and you start PC and you can go over and bring your progress over and go play on PC with people. That's awesome. Cross-platform play would suck.
Yeah, no.
And I mean, dude, the worst thing about cross save too is we have our Bungie.net account. So like, and again, I'm not a programmer, I'm not part of that, but like to me, it would seem somewhat easy. And again, I'm saying that not being a programmer, but the system appears to be in place. I can go on my phone. There is everything. Destiny sets, all these different websites and all that can access this API that says, hey, here's all the information. Why couldn't that information just be there? And then my Xbox One grabs that information and blows it into the game, or my PC like that. It just seems like that's something that almost is inevitable. Like it really should happen, especially in the state of games today. I mean, let's get the elephant out of the room. Fortnite, they're doing it. That to me is something that your Epic account now goes across everything. And
so Rebel Soldier, thank you for your question. That was awesome.
Destiny, I think, definitely should do that for sure. Yep. All right, well, let's move on here to our clan spotlight, the part of the show. We'll give you a clan. If you want your clan spotlighted here on the show, you can find it in the show notes or over on our website, theguardiansofdestiny.com. You can see the form over there. Fill it out. And if you're looking for some members, you may have a clan here. But if you're looking for a clan, we got one for you. Kiddo, who do you got this week, man?
So last week we did a PS4 clan. This week we're going to do an Xbox clan. Nice. So it's Hive Holy War. This one's kind of cool. It's an interesting story. It says, well, hello there. We are Hive Holy War. The story of the clan begins back in year 1 when the 3 founders met one fateful night in Crota's End Run. We just hit it off from the start. Then the Taken King dropped and King's Fall happened. We developed a regular raid team and decided that we would create a clan. We were having a hard time with the teleporting ogres. Yeah, we all know about those that night, and decided we would have to wage a war against the Hive, hence the name. Then we mastered King's Fall to about 35 to 45 minutes a run and decided to start helping those who just couldn't beat it or struggle to get through it. We got a few more members through this. Then Age of Triumph dropped, and my fiance, one of the founders, suggested I make a post on Bungie to recruit members because we didn't want people to not enjoy all the raids coming back because they never did them and weren't good enough, or LFG sucked, or whatever it was. So we opened up a membership. We grew. We believe that the raids are some of the best content that Destiny has to offer. Yes, that's absolutely true. And we don't want to see anyone not get to do it because of LFG groups can be mean or they had a bad experience with one. We have a Discord for all of our nonsense and to get groups together. Also, since many of us have become very good friends, we also have an LFG in Discord for other games that a bunch of us play. So if you're a PvE guy or gal looking to become a raid Sherpa, or just have a steady group of raiders around to play with, or have never done a Destiny raid, we are the clan for you. We are a clan that cares about helping people. We like to have a great time, as you'll be able to see within seconds of joining our Discord and reading some of the quotes we have. This is a game, it's supposed to be fun and about making friendships, so that is what we set out. That's what we set out for. We also have members from the U.S. and England. Right now, we are sitting at about 75 members. We hope to grow as much as we can. The more people, the better. We are an open clan. We will accept anyone. The only thing we ask is that you play the game at least for a little bit during each expansion, so that you're familiar with the content. Also, that you are not mean to any of our members. This will not be tolerated. This is my favorite part. Keep in mind that we are all a different skill level and at the game, and so not being mean is key. At night, more people tend to be on than weekends. I am on most of the time and always willing to help with something. All you have to do is ask. It is, but we're almost done. We do some internal things like, it's important because this is like really good stuff.
I know.
We do some internal things like every time our power level goes up, we host a competition to see who can hit max power first. You can contact me on Xbox at AfterForever88. I don't think I have to spell that one. AfterForever88, no spaces, for any information you need, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And also we'll get you into the Discord and the clan as fast as we can. Hope to raid with everyone soon. If you're on Xbox One, that sounds like a really fun, caring clan. They have a lot of members. Hit those guys up.
Awesome. All right. So again, if you want to have your clan spotlighted here on the show, you can find it in the show notes or over on our website, theguardiansofdestiny.com. All right. Let's move on here to our final segment, the part of the show where we give you a voice that we call Messages from the City. All right, don't forget you can email us feedback at theguardiansofdestiny.com. And here, before we read some of the emails Kato picked out this week, I do want to just give some acknowledgement and read a little bit of an email we got a few weeks ago. And this one came to us from a Guardian from, years ago. The very first Xbox One. I want to say it was the first Xbox One, or one of the first Xbox Ones we gave away here on the show. And his name's Brian. Brian, unfortunately, we missed the email. I think that the first time you sent it, and we did get him here the last few times, but just being able to get him here into the show just wasn't working. But I do want to read this because this is a great story.
Well, the email came after I did the rundown. So I did the rundown during the day. It came right before the show. I didn't get to it.
Yeah, Caleb usually just does the rundown on anything that kind of happens in between. Then is like, meh.
I do it during the day,
and then stuff gets missed. So, all right. So here he goes. It says, "Greetings, Guardians." He says, "I'm sorry for the last minute request, but I have a huge favor I want to ask and an awesome update." He says, "My gamer tag is Stinky Buttercup. As you may remember, I was honored to receive one of your Xbox One giveaways about 2 years ago. With the new Xbox, I started a clan, the Goondock Saints X." He says, expansion from the PlayStation clan, the Goondock Saints, and hit the ground running to start recruiting. Thanks to some Bungie.net posts, as well as the clan spotlight and other mentions from you guys, we put together an amazing community of Guardians. He says, my goal with the clan was to find people that want to help each other. I'm proud when someone jumps on our Discord and says, who needs help with something, more than they ask for help themselves. He says, the experience has been amazing. I have now been playing with the people I now consider close friends from around the world in all different walks of life. And it has all been thanks to you, and if it was not for that giveaway, this clan would not have been born. Which leads me to my request. He says he has a little short story here. He says, 2 of the Guardians in the clan met via Destiny and the clan and have now met up several times over the last couple of years. And this past October 14th, they actually got married. So he's saying if it wasn't for the clan... or the clan spotlight, basically. No Xbox for him. He never would have started the clan, that this couple never would have met and fell in love.
That's so sweet, man.
Very cool. Brian, send us their names. You didn't put their names in the email.
Responsible for a marriage? Like,
yes,
what the hell?
Marriage.
That's awesome, man.
The first Guardian Radio marriage. There you go.
You should send them a t-shirt or something.
We should, yeah. So, Brian, it's literally, Brian, please send us their names and addresses. You got our email, man. And again,
sizes and whatnot.
We apologize for missing these, but we will. We
have to send them some stuff.
We will ship them off some Guardian Radio shirts. So email us, Brian. Just respond to the email you've been sending these from, man, and we'll definitely get all that set up.
For sure.
But all right, let's move on here to some of the other emails we got this week. This one comes from Antoine the Fish. It says, hey, Guardians. Like a lot of players, I've been grinding for Luna's Howl in competitive. I'm to the point where I'm focusing strictly on getting to the max glory rank, and I must say, it's been rough. It really stinks when you play a match where you're killing it and you lose because of a teammate. Now, I realize the best method for winning is having a full fire team that you can communicate with, but I feel like since going in solo is an option, our XP should fluctuate based on how well we played as an individual. Obviously, a loss should still count against you, but maybe it should be a little more forgiving, seeing that our Guardian did really well in a match. What are your thoughts? Love the show as always. Keep it up. Antoine
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Hunter forever.
I think I like the idea of based upon how do you scale that?
Yeah,
is it KD?
There's got to be a metric,
because the problem is there's also you could be playing an objective based game mode and fine, you had 25 kills, but you didn't capture any flags. You know what I mean? Like, so it just depends. That's such a hard thing to do. To measure, I mean, maybe you measure that in just a competitive situation, and if you're playing competitive and you do good and you lose, I don't know. That's a tough one. What do you think, Shawnee?
I think I love the idea, but you're right. There's got to be some sort of metric in there of how you actually would figure out. Okay.
Well, I was going to say,
because I think this is a good idea. Because I mean, for someone like myself, when it comes to PvP, I only play solo. Now, granted, Destiny 2 is a social game, and they want everyone to play with each other, play with other people, make a fire team up, and this and that. But I like the idea. There's got to be some sort of metric, like you said, whether it's a certain objective, how much did you play the objective, even though you took the loss. have some sort of penalty for the loss. I'm not doing the quest, so I can't really comment on the actual steps myself because I like the weapon, but too busy having too much fun in the other PvE activities at the moment right now.
I mean, there's got to be some sort of algorithm that, when they set you in, I guess, against other Guardians, kind of the matchmaking outside of your connection, there's got to be some other things they're looking at just besides your KD and your win-loss ratio, right? So there's got to be something else they're measuring. I mean, I'm thinking, and I hate to bring it back to this game mode because we talked about it a lot last week, but like a MOBA, like, when you play those games, if you're playing support, you're not getting really rated on your KD or your assists. Or actually, you are getting probably more looked at your assists because you played your role in that mode. Now, when it comes to this, where you're just basically shooting guys in the face, is it maybe just for the amount of damage you did? Maybe you didn't get the final kill, but you were at least kind of counted in on that kill by at least assisting. I mean, right now, that's kind of how, and I don't want to throw it out there, but kind of how Black Ops, Call of Duty, is doing some of its scoring. Is every time, even though you may not actually get the kill, you just kind of popping them with a bullet or two, you're getting a little bit of XP or a little bit of some points at that point. And maybe that's the way to do it. As long as you're kind of making contact and you're part of the fight, it can somehow give you a little something, and that loss isn't going to crush you so much.
I think the realistic way to actually make it maybe viable is to make it bounty based. So let's say that you pick up a bounty that will help you, achieve whatever they want to achieve as far as rank, right? Playing like as a solo player, because there's clan bounties, right? Do this with clan teammates. Yeah. As a solo player, capture X amount of flags, get so many kills, do blah blah. So whatever it is, make some sort of a bounty that helps that rank and boosts it or something. Make it bounty based instead of just, because it's impossible to game by game to go, okay, well, you did great this game and you were playing against, we don't know who you're playing against and how the matchmaking is going to work. Yeah. It's going to be ridiculous. If you make it some sort of a bounty based thing where there's some other bounty that you can pick up that's instead of being clan based from Hawthorne, and you get clan bounties that you can also do solo bounties. Right? I mean, maybe put another vendor out there that gives you solo bounties and helps you out for those ranks. Maybe that's something to do. But that's the only thing I could think of, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know. It's definitely something that I know a lot of players are kind of stuck in that same rut, Antoine. Yeah. But unfortunately, it's just kind of the nature of a quest built around that. It's just tough, and not even just built around that, built into a game where it literally is win-loss. When you're just playing a shooter, that's just kind of one of the natures, especially a shooter. If you're playing a mode like that is just basically elimination and you're not in an objective-based mode and they're not really scoring you on the objective. You could look at a game like Overwatch, let's say, that is a hero shooter, and you have set roles, again, back to that MOBA style, that holy trinity of you're playing your role, and they will rank you based on, that's how Overwatch ranks you. They base you, are you playing your role or are you doing the right thing? So it'd be tough. It's a tough thing, but I know a lot of people out there are feeling your pain, man. Let's see. The final one we got. This one comes to us from Garuda Knight 13, and he says, Guardian Radio, thanks for all you do for this community and not being salty. It's one of the highlights of my week listening to you all. One of my favorite things pre-launch of Destiny 2 was the video of Zavala that starts off with him being resurrected by his ghost. It actually made me feel a little more connected to Zavala. He said, my son still would prefer that he was killed off instead of Cade. What's wrong with your kids? He says, it got me thinking, what if Bungie made a game that took us back and told us the stories of Ikora, Eris, Lord Shaxx, Saladin, Zavala, and Cade? There was one way to bring Cade back. He says, or to the collapse and told us the stories of the Risen or the rise of the Vanguard. How awesome would any of that be? Let us experience these things firsthand. The Battle of the Six Fronts, or the failed fire team descent down to Crota, Toland, Saint 14, Dredgen Yor, Osiris, etc. There's also no limit of what they could create for us to enjoy. Also, it would more fully develop these characters. So if something tragic happened to them, we would actually care. He says, I want to throw my money at the screen just thinking about it. Garuda Knight 13, Human Hunter Main.
I 100% would throw money at the screen for that. I mean, because that's the first thing that came to my mind was if they did all that, that definitely would be paid stuff that you would have to pay for within a game for them to make all that. Because to tell all that story, I mean, the most expensive stuff that I understand from developers is stuff like dialogue and cutscenes and all that. It's very expensive to make. But to learn all that stuff, to go back and experience it like it was like a little mini time capsule, that would be.
I mean, dude, what if they just made like, we hear now that and we know they're not going to completely ditch storytelling from Destiny. But we hear that with the annual pass, a lot of it's just going to be gear and things like that we're going to get. What if they had, okay, you have your Destiny 3 comes out, you have your annual pass that gets you the expansions to that, but then they have this other game, and I hate to say it, but maybe another team develops it, a studio that does more just campaigns, and they say it's called, Destiny Stories, and you pay $60 or whatever it is, and then they kind of do the like Telltale Games model where it's every month, which rest in peace Telltale Games, but they do like a model where every month or two they put out a new story, and it's rather than give us a motion comic, give us a 2-hour little campaign that you get every so often, and you're able to jump in and play this neat little set piece that they build, and it's telling the story of one of the characters in the game. That'd be incredible.
I have the answer. Instead of another stupid Marvel movie, can we have a Destiny movie?
Yeah, I'm sick of Marvel
like,
movies.
come on, man.
Obviously, man.
I know I'm being ridiculous. I know I'm
but,
being ridiculous.
But you're not, because give me a Destiny movie.
But to see the Battle of the Six Fronts, dude, to see what happened, like there's lore, yes, and there's stuff that we've theoretically thought of. This is what happened, and we've been told this is what happened from text and whatnot. But to actually have Bungie, put something together where we can see this stuff and see the struggles and see those battles. Oh my God, even if we can't be a part of the playing part would be amazing. But then if it was something where we could actually be Zavala or just
third person, man.
Whatever, it would be so
Give
ridiculous.
me another game called Destiny Stories, and you get to play that, man. Like, let me play that out. I think that would, I think back to, I mean, you guys weren't really Halo players, but like Halo ODST or even Halo Reach, you don't play as a Master Chief, but that's and again, Bungie made those, but there were stories, telling other stories within the Halo universe, and that would just be epic. And then at that point, you can have your little bit of story in Destiny 3, or in an let's call this an off year, let's say, where our expansions don't actually have story content. It's more just like, hey, here's this new mode and some new loot for you to chase. This is when you have another team developing these Destiny stories, and you have these just neat little small campaign stories you get to go through, and we get to go back in time and relive through Zavala's eyes, go to that battle and do all that. I think that would be great.
I mean, I 100% would pay for a prequel game, right?
Yep.
If they had the resources with these other studios,
absolutely.
And now that the company in China invested $1 million into Bungie, and if they have the resources with High Moon and Vicarious Visions,
Sean, it's gonna matter, right? Isn't that the new thing that they coined, Matter? I think that's the name of the new game, right? With the trademark.
IP they got, yeah.
Well, I mean, can imagine, because I mean, a lot of stories, be it science fiction, be it whatever, we hear so much about the backstory, and then we get the prequel told. Now, sometimes it goes all wrong, and we hear Mesa, Jaja Binks, But I really, for years, wanted to learn about the Clone Wars. I wanted to learn about how the clones become, how Anakin turned to the dark side. Now, granted, it wasn't executed the way we all wanted it to be, but well done. A prequel game, you know what I mean? Like, let's say they make Destiny 3, and then instead of Destiny 4, they make a complete prequel game that takes us back to the Golden Age. See what happens, why the Golden Age collapse happened, and all these other battles as a prequel game. Yeah, people will be mad because you're going to start off with the basic supers we had back then prior to Destiny 1, but man, a prequel game.
I mean, Sean, that's what they did. That's what Halo Reach is. That. It's the fall of Reach. Yep. Reach is where basically crap hits the fan. Like, that's when the whole thing, granted the Spartans were around before that, but that's when the whole Covenant War and all that really comes to a head. And it's like right after that moment, that's where the original Halo kind of starts. You don't even play as Master Chief in Halo Reach. It tells you like it's the location where he was and when that planet was attacked and all of that. They've done it. So I think that's a great idea. Like you said, give us our next game is the prequel. And then, a few years later, we return, and it's we're back to our Guardians and go. How do you think that would be received, though, by the community? If 2 years from now they said, all right, we're going to put your Guardians on hold, and you're going to go back to the Golden Age and create these new Guardians, and you're going to fight alongside Zavala in the Battle of the Six Fronts, and you're going to do all of these cool things, and you're just going to happen to be the person that was there with each thing, or with each of these big moments. I mean,
I see a 50-50. I see a lot of people will absolutely love it and die over it, and then a bunch of people saying, lazy, they can't come up with new content or a new story and this and that.
It would convert a lot of people to Titanism.
But but in reality, a lot of us do want to experience in that. And prequels are cool, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because
Yep.
there's so much lore and stuff. I mean, like, I'd love to see what happened to Eris Morn and her fire team and all this stuff. You know what I mean? Or the Battle of Twilight Gap, how Galahorn was forged and this and that. And there's so much story that we have to imagine or watch My Name is Bife's videos to see what exactly is told in the Grimoire and the lore and stuff like that.
Well, let's be honest. That is some of the fun, right? That is as much as we want that. That is some of the fun of all of this. I mean,
it's just to imagine it.
It's just to have fun. Hell, that's why this podcast exists.
I will say, and the reason that I put that other question about Destiny 3 in the rundown, our buddy T-Rex is on his way to Bungie. We don't know why.
Yeah.
But speculatively, maybe it's Destiny 3 stuff. We don't know.
No.
That's nothing to do with Destiny.
Wait. I think it's too early.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too.
Okay, let's put it this way. If it was Destiny 3, Destiny 3, there's no way he would have let anyone know that he's there.
That he's gone.
Yeah,
no way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's probably DLC stuff, right?
Yeah.
But just throwing it out there, everybody keep an eye on our buddy T-Rex. Keep an eye on his Twitter and stuff because he's going to Bungie and he might have some info.
Yep.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Although I'm sure he won't be talking about any of it for a while. So you don't need
to
to follow him because of that. Just follow him because he's a dude. That's about it. All right, let's wrap it up there, guys. As always here, thank you for tuning into the show. And again, email us, feedback@theguardiansofdestiny.com. Like I said, Brian, email us, man. Those people's information, we'll shoot them out a t-shirt, man. I would definitely love to do that. And also, we will be back, of course, next week at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. 6:30 p.m. Pacific. You can tune into the show there. And although if I win the $1.6 billion Mega Millions, I will not be on the show. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. Dude, the people at work are going bananas today over there.
No, Mark, no, you lied. If you do, we're going to be hosting it from Bungie Studios.
Because we own it now. Because we own it.
Their freaking studio.
Because we own Bungie at that point. That's why.
Is Mark going to buy Bungie?
I'm just going to buy Bungie.
To buy it right now.
Live from the Bungie studio.
I mean, think about it. You know what? Think about it. Let's say I won the Mega Millions, right? And I love Destiny so much. I would just invest like $10 million, $20 million, because it's nothing out of all that money, whatever it's that.
Yep.
For the future of Destiny 2. So here, go have fun with it. You know what I mean? Make more Destiny 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know what I mean? Just because I want to. Just because I want to play the game.
Just turned into a 20-year plan.
Make it a 20-year plan. I don't want a return on investment. If you want to give me one, that's fine. Here
I would
you go.
pay them to kill off all the hunters and warlocks, and it would just be a game about Titans.
Don't be jelly because of my Well of Radiance, and you can't kill me in it, man. You rely on it in Gambit, don't you?
I do.
Well of Radiance, totally down.
But no, Well of Radiance with the new Sentinel Titan is just awesome in PvE, man.
It is. Yep.
But don't forget, again, you can follow us on Twitter @GuardiansofD. You can check out our website, theguardiansofdestiny.com. Check us out live. Like I said, we will be back live here, youtube.com/MesaSean. You can also find the archive over there. You can find the podcast on any podcast service of choice you use, iTunes, Podbean, whatever it is, Stitcher, all those good things. You can find us there. And with that, everybody, enjoy week 2 of Festival of the Lost. Get out there. Get that horror story. It's a great way to give yourself a bump and start getting those higher level engrams to drop for you. And with that, again, also thanks to our sponsors, NRPC and GamerGoo. You can find all their information down in the show notes as well. Help support them because they help support this show as well. So, everybody, thank you as always. And with that, we'll catch you next week. Later.
I tried to make that as gross as possible.
Pretty good.
Hashtag made it to the end. Thanks, Metallica.
Made it to the end.
Nice stuff.
Oh, get it for it.
All right, Chad. Good show, guys.
It
was nice to be back on air.
It was. Oh, dude, hell yeah, it was.
Last week it was weird being off there and stuff, and recording.
Nice for me not having my microphone unplugged.
Oh my god.
Oh
guys.
yeah. Do you want to tell everybody about that?
Literally, this. I'm pointing to it. This right here.
Oh, it's just sticking out a little bit.
Unplugged. Well, so when I've got this arm, right? I've got
GamerGoo.com, KS.
I've got this arm, and when I did this because I have it clipped so it doesn't come disconnected. I have it clipped into this little thing right here. And when I did that, it came disconnected and nothing moved because I have it clipped in. And I'm like, dude, there's nothing wrong. What the hell? And it was disconnected and I didn't know. And I got host. So, but you could still hear me. But my commentary wasn't the important part. It was Cooley and Robbie.
Yeah.
So whatever. I sounded a little flaky, but they sounded great. So it was fine. So whatever. What are you gonna do? I always sound flaky, right?
Good enough. Good enough.
Right. Good enough.
Good enough for rock and roll.
Awesome. All right, stream.
All right, stream. Yeah, guys. Thank you as always. And we will catch you next week.
Catch you week, guys. Love you guys.
Peace.